Big day for the 89 build. I'm going to walk you through a major milestone that we just accomplished. All right guys, so I know it's been a while since I brought you a video on the Range Rover Classics in general, but also the 89. We are finally at a major milestone with this car. As you can see, it is back from bodywork and paintwork. The color I went with, which I know on the previous videos I kind of left a teaser, is Balmoral green. So this color is super unique. Love this color so much. When I first saw this online, I knew that I really wanted to do it in this color. I just wanted something that was period correct, that had a story behind it, that wasn't one of the factory colors. I mean, if you're gonna pay for a respray on the entire car, it stands to reason that you should go with some kind of unique color. And I also am doing a backdate on this, as I think you guys know from the earlier videos. And so I wanted to pick a color that was a little more vintage inspired, if that makes sense. And so Balmoral green is a color that was specifically commissioned by the royal family in the UK to paint all of the Rovers at Balmoral Castle at the time. And so it's this very cool, like OD green color. It isn't quite Keswick, you know, it isn't quite Lincoln. I think green in general is a really great color on this car. I just like the fact this one was unique. It was sort of muted. It was non-metallic. I think it's gonna go really great with all of the other plans I have with this, which I'll walk you through. So first things first, let me walk you through the work we did in addition to the respray, which obviously you can see with your own eyes. And I'll talk about all the rust repair and replacement that we did while this was in the body shop. All right, so in terms of rust repair and panel replacement, I'm gonna kind of go 360, you know, make my way like counterclockwise around the car, because honestly, we replaced pretty much the entire outer perimeter of this car. When I bought the 89, if you watch some of those earlier videos, you'll know that it was mechanically sound, it runs great, it's got a nice maintenance history, the interior is in really nice shape, and it was really cosmetic stuff. The exterior had signs of rust. There were signs of rust under the vehicle, so a lot of this was really just attacking all the rust, getting this thing coated, good baseline, then get it resprayed in a new color, and then the rest is, you know, kind of good to go. So starting at the front, we replaced everything under here. So the entire front wheel arch was replaced, and as you can see, that's now been coated in an undercoating. Pretty much all the work we did, we coated, just to make it rust resistant, waterproof going forward. We also replaced the driver's side footwell. So a lot of these panels I got from Rimmer Bros or YRM. This one happens to be from Rimmer Bros. So this is the front footwell repair panel that they sell, that you can see here has been installed and welded in. And we also coated the floor of this area because this was super rusted on this side. We've also done the inner and outer sills. You can see this has all been replaced and recoated, you know, on both sides. And so that was a big deal. The frame itself, you know, is in nice shape. There's really no rust or anything there. It's really all the rust was like from here back to the outside of the vehicle. And so we replaced all this. Those were from YRM. In the rear, we had to redo these. So these were pretty much completely rusted out. So we replaced both of those. And again, coated those. The floor and everything in the back seat was in nice shape, so we didn't have to do anything there. But you can see here where we've come in and done that inner and outer sill replacement work. Moving to the rear, we had to redo both wheel arches. So these are brand new and again coated for protection. Same thing on the other side. Those wheel arches were from Rimmer Bros. We had to replace this panel here. So this is kind of where the gas tank interfaces and what have you. So we replaced that one panel from Rimmer Bros. It kind of moves up and has like a little wing up here you can't see under the sound deadening matting in the back. We replaced the rear cross member. So this is brand new rear cross member from YRM. This was completely rusted out. This was one of the worst areas, you know, it was causing a lot of issues with the tailgate operation. As you can see, just as a little touch, we did decide to paint the inside of the rear tailgate just to give it kind of that vintage look with the Balmoral green. Moving around to the side, we had to replace this piece here. Okay, this was all rusted out. This side of the floor was fine with the exception of the, again, inner and outer sill replacements that we did. On this side, similar to the driver side, we did this fix here, put in a new passenger side footwell panel. And last, but certainly not least, we redid this front wing or wheel arch, whatever you want to call it, with a new panel as well. So, tremendous amount of rust repair and work. That said, this car is 100% rust free. Everything that's been replaced was replaced with something that was coated, and so there shouldn't be any rust issues going forward, which is great. We're now at a really good baseline to start the rest of the build. As you can see, I've removed all the carpets just to inspect all that work, make sure everything's good. I've started to detail the car. It has been sitting around for, 7-8 months while all this was going on. And so want to get the car to like a good baseline, and that way we can go ahead and start moving forward with the build. From a paint job perspective, the paint job is good. It's definitely what I expected it to be. I went into this knowing that I did not want to spend, $10,000, $15,000 on like a Concours, like show car level paint job. That's just not what this build is about. That said, I knew that what I'd be getting was about a 5-foot paint job. We kind of talked about this ahead of time with the group here locally that did this work for me. And so what I will tell you is that what we got is probably more like a 3-foot paint job, which is really great. The paint work is overall good, as you can see. It does have just the slightest bit of texture in it. This paint has not been compounded. It has not been polished. It has not been ceramic coated, all the things I usually do to these cars. So we'll see kind of how much more this cleans up when I do get into, especially compounding it, see if that flattens it a little bit. But nonetheless, for what I paid, this paint job is really, really spectacular. I'm very pleased. Took off all the door cards and everything and really just, did the insides of the doors, did the insides of the engine bay like slightly in and over. So when this is open, the Balmoral green continues somewhat. So, just not a quick tape off and respray. So now that the paint work is complete, we're gonna, again, compound polish and ceramic coat that, get that all dialed in. Then we're gonna start with the build. So we've got the front bumper, new corners, new grille, new lights, rear bumper, 2-inch lift, wheels and tires, all the fun stuff. So all that stuff is coming next. Now that we've got the car, pretty much back in our possession, I've got the ability to complete the rest of that here at the home garage. But again, major milestone in this car. And just wanted to kind of walk you guys through all the rust repair we did. I know a lot of people that watch these videos or follow the channel are super curious about, what it takes to bring one of these Range Rovers that has a lot of rust back. I got this car super cheap because of the rust. I did have to spend some money, obviously, to get it rust repaired and repainted, but I would argue strongly that knowing what fully rust-free, resprayed versions of these cars go for in places like Bring a Trailer and whatnot, that I got a really good deal all in. And this, if you're willing to put the work and the effort and the time into, doing this yourself or sourcing this locally with, contacts you have or what have you, you can really get one of these builds done very cost effective. So that's kind of the overview. We're gonna go ahead and get on to the rest of the build. Really appreciate you guys following along on this channel. Excited to bring you a lot more Range Rover Classic content now that I've got this car back. We also have the 91, the gold one, back. That car is running, it's driving, everything's good to go. We've got one sort of brake issue, ABS pump issue to work out. Got a rebuild unit we need to install, and then we should be really rocking and rolling on that one. I think the plan on that one has changed a little bit in terms of, I don't think we're gonna do a full-on build with like a respray and a new color and all that. I think what we wanna do actually is just get that one cleaned up, get a light restoration done, get it back to original. Again, it only has 83,000 miles, it's single owner. I feel like that one I just wanna put back to kind of its original form, get some of the parts and pieces that are missing, and then that one probably will be for sale. So If you're interested in the gold Range Rover, look for that on the forums, the Facebook groups, you know, maybe bring a trailer here in the near future, or certainly reach out to me direct if you have an interest in purchasing a very low mileage, single owner, Roman bronze, gold Range Rover Classic 91 short wheelbase. But thank you for watching, and if you don't already, and this is the first video you're seeing on this car, go ahead and subscribe. Go back a couple videos and check out some of the early stuff where I talk about what I purchased and how I purchased it, and then that way you'll be up to date on all the new videos as they come out. So we're gonna get to work, and I'll catch you on the next one.